Hey guys, so today we're going to be doing a My Aquarium update. So we're going to start off with my little 12-gallon like breeding for profit tank. This is more of a grow out tank where I put baby fish in here to where I can grow them up to a sellable size. Whole bunch of platies and guppies right now. Soon some of the platies will be sold and guppies, just waiting for my local fish store to have room. Anyway, pretty basic. Fish are doing great and eating a lot. Next we have my main breeding for profit tank, which only has 3 fish right now, 2 male guppies and 1 female. The other female did die, so I do need to pick up another female. And there's also a few fry already in here, as well as a ton of snails and shrimp. Need to pick a few of those snails out to feed my pea puffer. But that's pretty much it for this tank. Quick update, nothing much has changed. Next we have the cichlid tank. Now this was actually a requested update, but I thought I'd just work it into this video. Plants are doing great, growing a ton. Cichlids are getting much bigger, as you can see. I think we have 9 cichlids now. I went ahead and picked up some more from my local fish store, some of the smaller ones. But as you can see, they're all doing good. Hard to catch each individual one, but they're doing really good. So let's move on to something else. Goldfish tank, still doing good. All 5 goldfish in the loach still doing fine and eating a lot. As you can see, tons of water changes on this tank. But anyway, these goldfish are doing great. Next up, we have the tropical fish tank. Right here, 55-gallon tropical fish tank. The goldfish was a 29, by the way, just thought in case you want to know. Right here, this is a 55-gallon tropical fish tank. There's like a bala shark in here, which will outgrow this tank. I know that. That actually came with the tank when I bought it. There's an angelfish, some gouramis, some glowfish tetras, some platies, some mollies, a bristlenose pleco, some catfish, some cory catfish. And that's pretty much it. There's also some cherry barbs, I think, in here. Yeah, some cherry barbs. Nice little community freshwater tropical fish tank. Love the angelfish, love the glowfish. There's always action moving on this tank, tons of fish, and that's one reason I really enjoy this fish. Feeding these guys is super fun. You know what? Let's just feed these guys right now. Working a little feeding into this video, gonna go ahead and drop in some flakes. And as you can see, they just go crazy for it. The gourami, the angelfish, the bala shark, everyone's getting in on the action. Love feeding this tank, just tons of fish, love to eat their food. Now here is the waterfall globe aquarium. So as you can see, same as it was before, except I ended up moving the guppies out and putting them into that tank to grow up. And I put a betta fish in here. This was my betta fish that was in the 2-gallon aquarium. I actually sold the 2-gallon aquarium and put him in this aquarium, which is basically also 2 gallons. Looking good in there. This tank's doing great. I did lower the flow of the filter, so it's less of a waterfall and more of a trickle, so it doesn't blow the beta around. And he really seems to enjoy it. Next up, we have the pea puffer. I'm not going to be showing you any of my saltwater tanks. They're all in construction. There'll be a whole video on saltwater coming out soon. But there is my little pea puffer down there. Still doing good, eating on some snails. And then the autosynclus suckerfish, catfish, whatever you want to call him, is right there on the glass. They're doing great, as you can see. He's slowly growing. I'm trying to put some weight on him, and it's kind of working. As you can see, I've just been dumping a ton of snails in here. Let's go check out some more fish. Now, right next to that, we have my 36-gallon tropical aquarium. Like the other one, tons of tropical fish. The angelfish in here did die randomly, though. I was super confused. I just woke up one morning, he was dead. None of the other fish are exhibiting any signs of illness. I tested all my water and everything checked out, and then just in case I did a water change. But everyone else is doing good. As you can see, we got the glowfish, the tetras, the mollies, the guppies. Everything's doing good in here. There's the glowfish shark. So, not much has changed. I did add some live plants right there, as you can see. But just some new fish, and then the angelfish did die. Next up, we have my tank in need of a water change desperately. Not really a water change, just cleaning it. As you can see, a lot of algae on those rocks. But we do have my male beta in here, as well as 5 neon tetras in this fluval chi 5-gallon aquarium, as you can see. Doing really good as always, you know. Love having a little school of tetras in with my beta. Does need a water change. Probably going to do a rescape on this tank very soon. Next up, we have my fiddler crabs. All 3 fiddler crabs are still here. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3 in the back behind the rock, and then there's also a nerite snail in here. There are also 2 or 3 rosy red minnows, but they're under behind this little rock thingy right now, so you can't see them right now. They're just in there to kind of like eat the flake food when I drop it in. Sometimes the crabs don't eat it till it falls to the bottom, so they're just there as a cleanup crew and something more interesting to watch than just the crabs. But they're hiding right now, so not really interesting to watch. I did redesign the filter system, so let's try to get out of the fog. There we go. As you can see, the water trickles out over those rocks, and the big filter is no longer in this corner. What I did was I took the power head of the filter, stuck it under here, ran a piece of hosing right there, and the hose runs up there, and then the hose is hidden under those rocks and it basically just blows the water out right there, trickles it down the little dock thing. Now, as I mentioned, no salt water, so let's go check out the goldfish. The goldfish all doing great. I do have one more goldfish for this tank in quarantine. I fell in love with him at a pet store. I know this will be overstocked, but if one gets too big, I'll probably move out that little one down there. He's about that size, so it shouldn't be that much of an issue, but I fell in love with him. He's like a telescope calico. He'll look really cool in here, but these guys are doing great. Next up, we have this tropical fish tank right here in our kitchen with the angelfish, the tetras, the platies, the swordtail, and the female betta right there. The female betta and the angelfish are a bit nippy sometimes, but there are no nipped fins on the platies, so we're pretty much good. But as you can see, this is a column tank, so it's really tall. I really enjoy this tank. It looks great in our kitchen, and I love the angelfish. Someone actually named him Spike. I think Spike, pretty sure that was the name. From my school, she was like, you know what, that fish is named Spike, and I'm like, okay. So that's Spike. Let's go ahead and look at some other tanks. Venturing outside of the 110-gallon koi/goldfish pond, the baby koi and the goldfish are all under these rocks hiding. They only really come out when I drop some food in, but you're not going to see them today. I think when it warms up a little bit, maybe they'll come out, but they're just super skittish, and whenever somebody walks up, they dart under the rocks. When people aren't here, though, they're out swimming around. You know, wish it was the opposite way, but it is what it is. I'm sure they'll warm up soon and come out to meet people. I think you might have just saw one back there. Oh, and there he goes. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at my quarantine tanks, and then we'll go ahead and check out the ponds in the backyard. Now, you already saw these tanks in my other video about the fair goldfish, but anyway, here's that fancy goldfish. You can't see him very well because he's in quarantine, no light. And then here are the fair goldfish. There's 2 comet goldfish, 1 goldfish I got from PetSmart, and then a whole bunch of feeder minnows. These guys are all going in that 110-gallon pond soon. They're just in quarantine, as you can see. Doing well, nothing much to check up on these guys. And last but not least, here is my fancy goldfish pond. It's a 40-gallon, basically stock tank with 4 fancy goldfish and a few minnows to eat mosquito larvae. All 4 goldfish are doing great. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. I don't know where the 4th one is. There comes out that one. But that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye. If you have any questions, leave them down below.